cutting edge of an ever-accelerating concrescent process. History cannot go on forever. History represents a phase in the development of something, and the conquest of the land represented an earlier phase in the development of that same thing. The hundreds of millions of years of life in the ocean, yet a longer, earlier phase of this same process of emergence. Now, the pace of the cosmic drama has quickened. It rests in us. In the last 100 years, there has been more scientific and cultural advance, let's make that scientific advance, than in the previous 100,000 years. This acceleration leads any rational person to the conclusion that eventually we are going to enter into domains of novelty of such short duration that they will consume history. And I believe that this is what the psychedelic experience actually reveals, that you can talk about the Jungian unconscious, you can talk about the maps of the Witoto or the Warani, but that the most effective map of the psychedelic domain is, strange to say, a mathematical map. That consciousness is the conquest of dimensionality. Biology is the conquest of dimensionality. The evolution of organs of locomotion and coordinated eyesight and so forth, these are devices to propel us through three-dimensional space. The mind, in its ability to coordinate data and anticipate situations, is a kind of trans-temporal organ. It is coordinating us in time as well as space. We are growing toward a kind of hyperspatiality, and this is a drama of universal import, because it is all biology that participates in this. Now, this represents a radical change of view to what the myth of our civilization is. The myth of our civilization is that the universe began a long time ago. It will be consumed in entropic heat death a long, long time in the future. We are on an ordinary planet, around an ordinary star, in an ordinary galaxy, in a universe of hundreds of millions of such galaxies. In other words, it's put down, put down, put down, put down, a minimalizing of our importance. We are no more, in the view of science, than fortunate spectators to a cosmic drama that knows and cares nothing about us. I don't believe this. I don't think the evidence of the psychedelic experience supports it. I think that the universe is an engine for the production of novelty, ever quicker, ever faster, ever denser, and that at this moment, so far as we know, in this universe, we, the human species, our civilization, this evening, right now, is the most complex organization, system, organism in existence. Therefore, somehow, the fate of the cosmic intent rests with us. We are not without responsibility in this situation. Somehow, the next step, the next advancement into novelty depends on our being a smooth and TOA-full conduit for its emergence. And so, as a global civilization, we can no longer afford the luxury of an unconscious mind. I mean, when you can pull down the fusion processes that light the stars, when you can pull that down on the cities of your enemies, when you can sequence the DNA, when you can map the heart of the atom, then it is entirely inappropriate to have an unconscious mind. because the power that is given unto you is a kind of godlike Promethean power. So how can we switch on the lights on our animal nature and draw ourselves toward the angelic destiny that wants to happen? Well, I think it's very simple. We have to decondition ourselves from culture. We are sick. We require medical intervention, immediate medical intervention to attempt to intervene on what is a galloping cancerous state of neurosis, the growth and spread of ego. Ego is like a calcareous growth in the psyche of human beings, and if it is not treated, it creates the kind of society that we have. A society based on hierarchy, male dominance, accumulation of physical goods, suppression of the weak by the strong. This is the kind of society that is created when those values are pushed. This is why the psychedelics are so socially sensitive, because they dissolve deconditioning. And every culture is a scam. Every culture is a lie, a shell game run by weasels for the amusement of rubes. And if you don't want to be a weasel or a rube, then you need to inform yourself of how the shell game works and what lies beyond the carnival midway of civilized values. And the way to do that is to go back to the plants, to go back to the original gnosis, because it isn't simply that there is some magic in perturbing the chemistry of the brain with psychedelics. Why should that confer wisdom or insight or anything else? It only can do that if beyond the deconditioning there is a wholeness waiting. There is a mystery to be revealed, and I think it's the mystery of the Gaian mind. History is what happens to you when you lose touch with the Gaian mind, with the feminine, nurturing, planetary matrix that is the atmosphere and the ocean currents and the biota of the earth. The fate of the cosmic intent rests with us. We are not without responsibility in this situation. Somehow, the next step, the next advancement into novelty depends